Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the All Signs Daily Forecast for everyone, basically. It's originally created for Thursday, the 1st of September. I did decide to stay with these two decks because I really like how they're pairing. And other people said in the comments that they liked it. So we will be staying with these two decks through the month of September. If you're new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath the daily videos. In there, some housekeeping rules, whatever decks I'm using, ways to get in contact with me for a private reading, and simple ways to support the channel. You can do that by hitting the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content, subscribing to the channel, leaving a question or comment, sharing the video out, or leaving me, like I said, a question or comment. So, yeah. Please do any of those things, and let's get into this reading and see what's going on today. Okay, she's back, the Queen of Cups. She was our lead card this weekend, or on the Sunday reading, right, for the beginning of the week. We also, I believe, saw her last week, too. She is about dealing with her emotions, facing them, being in a place of compassion, self-care, either towards ourselves mainly, or potentially towards another. She's going to be about her intuition, focusing on her intuition, how things make her feel, right? And then using that feeling as a guide to maneuver through situations or deal with situations. She will deal with them like, what's the word, like correctly, or positively, but she has to be sort of allowing her feelings to take the forefront, right? So checking in with how we feel today, where a situation, is hitting us in our emotional area, our sector is going to be the most important thing. Being kind to ourselves and others is also going to be a very big aspect of her energy. Underneath this, right, we're getting into Thursday's reading, so we could still be feeling the nostalgia of the Six of Cups, but we could also be shifting into that Ten of Swords from Sunday's reading. That Ten of Swords is about becoming finished or complete within a situation. It's certainly meant mentally, right? Letting our thoughts go, changing our communication or how we communicate or if we communicate at all, to be honest. The Queen of Cups might be indicating to some of us that, we no longer feel the same way about a situation or individual or relationship that we're involved in. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It could be, a realization or an epiphany. Remember, the grounding stone for this week is that word clarity. So if we're finding emotional clarity, and it's certainly with the Ten of Swords, clarity in our thoughts, we might be determining sort of where we're putting our attention, what we're giving our energy to. Is it really serving us? Is it feeding us back emotionally? Is it giving us support, care, all of those sort of things? The Queen of Cups would be in desire of that, want to nurture that, want to create more of that. So checking in with that aspect of ourselves and really taking ownership of it, right, from a kind, gentle place, even if that's within ourselves. It's okay to do that. I feel like she is about ownership, though. She's about owning who she is. She's not afraid to have her emotions, express her emotions, sit in her emotions, understand her emotions, and let them indicate what is her truth, right? So if we find ourselves connecting in that way today, utilize this power or call upon her to connect you in deeper to not only your emotional self, but also to your intuitions and the things that you think might be going on or feel might be going on. She might have some information or an indication as to how and where you can change your thoughts, your communication, or with the Ten of Swords, it could be stopping communication altogether. But the feelings of that or the emotions around that are going to be clear with her as our card for the day. Does that make sense? So paying attention and tapping into that is going to be key. Wow, interesting card. We've not seen this, so I'm glad we're staying with this card for this deck, these decks for this next month. Shapeshifter, perspective. Now, the first thing that I notice is she's all blue and she's also cups upon cups, which is water upon water. This is all fire. This is all, red and fiery. And shapeshifter to me, the interesting thing is I love that we have this heart light happening here, and then the Queen of Cups would be all about that emotional, heartfelt energy in a more calmer way, or a more centered or at peace sort of way, the coolness of the blues. Shapeshifter over here could feel that we're a little bit torn, that we're going in and out of feeling connected to our emotions, and then maybe repulsed or angered or upset about our emotions. But something is transforming here, something is changing. And shapeshifter, which is perspective, it could be our emotional perspective, and certainly with the Ten of Swords underneath here, our mental perspective could be changing or shifting. What I do see here in the shadow is this like crow, and he's headed to the if you look here, there's this eye of the crow right here, which is also the crown of this person. There's a knowledge or a wisdom of law in the crow, and so the shapeshifter is listening to their heart and their higher knowing, right, of the seventh chakra, and moving to the future, maybe with a little bit of a better sense of who we are, what we need to do to maintain what we need, how we pursue that. Some of us, I don't know why, but the redness in this card means some of us could be drawing lines in the sand, or making very clear, defined decisions as to where we stand, certainly emotionally and mentally. That also kind of keys into that ice that was surrounding in Sunday's reading. That Ten of Swords gentleman had that ice kind of around his body. And to me, that felt like a wall that we might need to put in place to maintain our space, our boundaries, our truth. And so this shapeshifter card feels like we might need to sort of not necessarily demand it, but declare it in a way. Some of you could be declaring from a place of, I don't want to say aggression, but this red feels very fiery, very powerful. If there's something going on that is upsetting you, then we may need to change our perspective around that upset, or how we receive that upset. Ultimately, I get this feeling that when we settle it, we will be able to fly forward, because that crow is definitely facing the future, and he looks like he's, he knows what he needs, or how he needs to get there. There's almost a directness to it. And what's interesting too is in the last two readings previous to this, we saw the Eight of Wands, which is about forward moving fire energy. And so to me, this shapeshifter card kind of gives me a little bit of that Eight of Wands vibe, where maybe if we were not ready to move in the last 2 days, this might be the day where we really emotionally understand and then mentally understand what we need to do and how we need to shift our perspective or change what we're thinking or what we're communicating to be able to move forward and feel more emotionally whole and complete. Now let me read Shapeshifter to you. The interesting thing is I'm looking at this and I'm seeing this as something for me personally that is a different reading, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. Where is Shapeshifter? Perspective. To understand a troubling situation in your life, see things from a totally different perspective. Shapeshifting helps you to do this. By taking on the qualities of a power animal, you will see or hear what is being conveyed with clarity. Choose an animal that suits your current needs, such as a lion for strength, a dove for peace, a wolf for protection, or a raven to understand the bigger picture. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and focus on the animal's characteristics. Breathe them into your very being. As you continue, you will become one with your animal and be taken on a visual journey. At first, you may find it unsettling to feel the body and characteristics of the animal you have become, but do not fear. The insight and perspective of this animal will be of great benefit. A smooth transformation back into your own mind and body is assured. An understanding of how to resolve your dilemma will stay with you. Shapeshifter revealed. The Epic of Gilgamesh, the Iliad, Norse sagas, and Celtic legends describe the metamorphosis from a deity or human into an animal for the purpose of employing its physical and sensory talents. This comes from a time when the relationship between animals and shamans was intrinsic to life. Modern examples of shapeshifting can be found in the X-Men, Twilight, and Harry Potter. Other divinatory meanings. Listen to and observe your thoughts carefully. That would be the Ten of Swords. And I'm also going to include emotions in that with the Queen of Cups here, guys. List all the positive attributes about yourself and the world around you. That would be the compassion of the Queen of Cups, certainly. Change negative words into positive ones. Be free with your compliments, gratitude, and praise. Also, Queen of Cups. What you deem as right may not be so, might not be so for another. Shapeshifter speaks. Whichever form you choose to take, bear, butterfly, wolf, or snake, the medicine will speak to you of what it is you now must do. So there's a truth that I feel like is coming forward, and that truth stems from this clarity stone that we've been grounding in this week, of finding our own internal clarity, not only emotionally, but then also mentally. And with this shapeshifter aspect, it's with the fire energy in the red, this is also spiritual too, this truth, this clarity, this perspective shift that we may need. Now let's go to the grounding stone. Okay, the grounding stone is dream. So I think it's not about necessarily grounding in a dream that isn't possible or here, but what I think the question is here is, or how I want to interpret this dream. Because to me, dream would be a little bit opposite of clarity. But when I think of, because dreams are sort of like nebulous and not quite with us. They're outside of us or further into the future or away from us in another world sometimes. But I feel like Shapeshifter also transfers us to that other world. I think that Queen of Cups would be the perfect card for dreaming, in the sense of how do our dreams, or how do we want a situation or a person or an environment to appear or feel to us. Dreaming in that and sensing that feeling through the Queen of Cups may allow us to find the clarity and the perspective or the shape shift that we need to be or become, so that we can achieve that dream, whatever it may be, right? Don't set the dream outside of yourself. Almost find the dream that is within, and then follow that path with a clarity or with a perspective shift that it is indeed possible. Follow the good feeling, follow what feels right, correct, and true. Let go of what doesn't. And that is the sort of the release of the Ten of Swords that underpins all of this, right? So if there's thoughts that we have that don't align with the dream, right? If we believe we're not deserving, or we believe that we're not capable or strong enough or able to change, or that the other party's not able to change, or that the situation won't ever change, well then those thoughts maybe need to be released through the Ten of Swords, so that we can shift our perspective, or that we can move into pursuing the dream. Does that make sense? The possibility of maybe it's something different that we're needing to see as possible, but we have to kind of connect to that and then feel those feelings around it, and then realign our thoughts and let go of what is not working, so that we can move forward. I do feel like we will move forward, and we will move forward probably rather quickly or empowered, but we have to touch base with these feelings and these ideas of what it is we want versus what it is we have. And then that in turn kind of gives us the clarity of what we need, so that we can move forward, so that we can take action. It'll be interesting to see how this week ends out. I want to thank you all for tuning in. That is your reading for the day. If you did enjoy it, please hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe to the channel. Share the video out with anybody that you think who could enjoy it. Also, if you're new, leave me a question or comment, just so that I know that you're here and that you're enjoying the content. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow to see how the rest of this week plays out. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.